This MOC is based on the Batman lore on how the Joker became the Joker. It takes place inside a chemical plant where the Joker is being chased by Batman and falls into a chemical tank. I wanted the structure to look like it's releasing toxins into the air, so I made the sky different shades of green to show that pollution. If you've seen my previous builds, you'll notice I've used this moon piece several times, and I love how it just fits into whatever mood you're trying to achieve with the sky. And even against a green polluted sky, it looks great. As for the buildings, I wanted to create that illusion of Gotham City in the distance with the backdrop. The black buildings are supposed to show Gotham with the iconic yellow windows in the cartoon. With the gray buildings, I tried to make that look like an extension of the chemical plant. I wanted it to look very massive in scale, but I am limited by parts and space, so I used the backdrop to help make the factory look like it continues into the distance. In this scene, I'm using the Batwing to show Batman landing on the roof of the chemical plant. In my head, I picture this factory on an island surrounded by water and thought Batman would need to fly there. Of course, he's joined by his sidekick Robin, who's dropping him off on the roof. I added a few small details to the roof, showing more of those green toxins going into the air from the chimney. There's a large window on the roof and some HVAC units to set the scene. Moving on to the front of the factory, I practiced making letters with Lego, which was very hard. The ACE word is brick built to give it that blocky big font, and the word chemicals is made from tiles but placed sideways to give the font a thinner outline. I wanted the logo to stand out from the dreary look of the factory, so I used brighter colors. The red just seemed very fitting against the dark gray, and I included purple since it's the Joker's favorite color. Underneath, I created several large rows of industrial windows. The green showing through the window is supposed to imply that the chemical factory is running and producing this glowing toxin inside. I think it ties really nicely with the sky, and being that the factory is dark gray, I really wanted to get splashes of color into the build, and green is another color you often see the Joker with. His hair is green, so I really wanted to make this location look like it represents him in a subtle way. To the left, there's a small extension of the factory with more vents releasing toxins into the air. There's a few bay doors and some hazard markings on the floor, as well as a traffic pole. I did make this build with an interior, which I'll get to soon. We have a pedestrian walkway along the front of the factory leading to the guard shack. One of the ACE plant employees is making his way over to work, carrying some tools and a pen. Inside the guard shack, there's an officer watching TV with some camera monitors, which he obviously isn't paying attention to. Here's just a few things on his table: a radio, flashlight, newspaper, telephone, and the all-important TV. Moving on more to the right, there's this really cool fence piece that I wish I had more of, and a large chemical tank outside. For the support structure, I used these Technic pieces and gave the chemical tank a logo from the Batman animated series set. There's an access ladder with a maintenance man taking a look with his tools. Extending from the side of the chemical plant is a small deck with more industrial piping and more vents releasing toxins, because they probably are creating some illegal things in this factory. On the ground level, I built a small river showing the chemicals coming out from the plant and polluting the water. On On the opposite side, I used this space to create a trans-clear tower to support the Batwing, but also included a portion of the river with clear water. To decorate this side of the factory, I included some more windows, but ran out of the green bricks to cover these. Taking a look inside the factory, I made the front panel easily removable to show a clear shot of the chemical tank where the Joker falls into. The back wall has a giant logo with a bottle of toxin next to it as a corporate symbol. I did a lot of greebling to make it look as industrial as I could. There's flex tubing for the railing since it's more bendable to show the railing breaking. This is a very iconic scene, and I wanted to show the Joker mid-air about to fall into the toxin. I covered the walls with all sorts of gadgets to give it that chaotic factory look. The chemical tank has an assortment of control panels to the side, as well as piping extending into different areas. I included some safety markings on the floor to indicate hazard zones and access points. There's some scattered boxes, a pallet, a dolly, just typical warehouse things to set the mood. The next room includes the package area where they get the toxins ready for distribution. I imagine it's where the Joker toxin is packaged to terrorize Gotham. I made some conveyor belts with a few boxes in the room showing an employee stacking everything neatly. And that concludes this Ace Chemical MOC. I had a blast making this, and thank you for watching the video. If you've made it this far, I will be posting more future MOCs, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you in the next one.